Hey everyone, how y'all doing? So today I thought I'd show you my copper knives. It just kind of popped in my head and I thought, yeah, I don't have that many, so I figured I'd show them, and I'm going to put it out as an open tag, so anyone wants to do a response video on their copper knives, please go ahead. I'd love to see other copper knives. I really like the copper, but I don't have that many. I actually only have four, so this should be a fairly quick video for me. But yeah, get down to it. The first copper knife I got, and I was waiting for this when it was being released, and I actually called off work that day to make sure I got it. And believe it or not, that is the copper Civivi Elementum. I thought this was so cool when I saw this was coming out that, yeah, I called off work that day. I stayed home and got online and instantly bought it. And let me tell you, it sold out fast. It was sold out within 15-20 minutes. So I was glad I stayed home because I would have been working and I wouldn't have gotten it that time. But I really like this one. This is my first Elementum. I have a couple of different variations now. It's got D2 steel, kind of bead blasted finish, and it hasn't shown any signs of rust or anything, so that's good. I guess bead blasted makes it more prone to rust. It's D2 steel. Got copper liners or copper scales here, and they did this funky kind of faux patina finish on it, but I don't think that looks too bad. I've always liked the looks of it. Now, I've seen people where they polished it up, and that looks cool. Someday I may do that. But anyways, your standard Civivi Elementum. It is a little thicker than the G10 version. Not very much, just a little bit. Definitely a lot heavier. G10 Elementum. But I really like this. I haven't carried it too much recently. It used to be my main carry. Centering is still excellent. Action is good. Deep carry pocket clip. Got this part back here. You can put a lanyard on it. I've never have, but I may eventually someday. Lockup is still solid. No play. Lock, rock, side to side, anything. Doesn't drop shut, but it's not bad. Rides on bearings. And this was more expensive. I can't remember when it came out. The Elementums were like $50.50, and this one was $68 maybe. And yeah, the Civivi Copper Elementum. I've had this for 4 years at least, and I still really like it. So that's the first copper one. The second copper one was a gift. It was I want to say birthday present, maybe a Christmas present. I cannot remember. A few years ago, my son got me the Kershaw Mini Copper Natrix, and this one is pretty cool. D2 blade on this one. Got the copper scales, the subframe lock. Action opening is excellent. It's got a little tiny flipper tab. That just rockets out. You have to make sure your finger's not on that subframe lock, or else it doesn't take too much pressure on it to be able to not open this thing. You cannot open it if you got any kind of pressure on that lock bar. But without it, yeah, it rockets right out. Not a big knife. Size it up with the Elementum. You can see it's quite a bit smaller. Line the pivots up. But pretty cool. It kind of looks like my Kershaw bare knuckle with a blade shape and handle shape. But pretty wicked looking blade. I like the blade shapes on the Natrixes and the bare knuckle. I don't even know what they call it, tell you the truth. But basically a 3-finger grip for me. Feels pretty good in hand. That little pocket clip, I really don't feel it. Now, pocket clip is pretty stiff and there's not a whole lot of clearance under it. You have the 2 button head screws to the pocket clip, then you got 2 screws in front of it for the subframe lock. So going in and out of thick pockets is not the best with this. Otherwise, you know, a normal pair of jeans, it works okay. And it's got a little bit of weight to it. Feels really good. I don't know how much it weighs, but for a knife this size, it is a little bit heavier, but feels good in hand. I like it. The pocket clip is actually really deep carry. It kind of extends above it, so when that's in your pocket, the knife is completely hidden. It has this FRN floating back spacer, which is kind of neat looking. Blade centering is good. Pretty cool. You can see it's taken on a patina. This looks like it did when I bought it with that faux finish, faux patina, but you can definitely see how much darker this is. You can see light spots down here in the grooves underneath the clip. You can see the color difference. I've never polished this up. I may one of these days tear it apart and polish it up and start over again. But yeah, the Kershaw Mini Natrix copper, and it's made in, this is a China Kershaw. So the next one you've seen on the channel recently, that's a knife I've always wanted to get, and I ended up getting the copper version of it, and I absolutely dig this, and that is the Kershaw Culpepper. And this is in my I'd say top 3 of my favorite slip joint knives. You can size that up to the Elementum, quite a bit longer than the Elementum. And like I said, it is a slip joint. The Culpepper 4383 TCU is made in China, has D2 steel. I like that blade, that clip point blade. I like the blade shape. How it it gently slopes up, a little bit of a curve to the point, and then straight down to the tip. Long matte strike pull on both sides. That's cool. I don't like double nail nicks when they're on the same side, but one on each side I think is pretty nice to have. Open it easily with either hand. Solid slabs of copper for the handles. Nice texturing. I like this texturing. Kind of reminds me of a Nutty Buddy bar. But actually, it adds good grip. You get some good grip on this. Feels very secure in the hand. Does have jimping up on the blade here. I don't really know why. It's a slip joint. You don't want to be pressing down on it, you know. Why help it accidentally close up? The jimping on this one is pretty nice. I had the Redbone version of it when the traveling knife was going around, and the jimping on that was a lot smoother. This actually is not bad jimping up here. But like I said, it's on a slip joint. I don't really get it, but it is what it is. Walk and talk. There's no half stop or anything, but blade pull, pretty good. I think I'd give it a 4.5. Nice and smooth. The snap open, snaps closed nicely. Centering is, well, not perfectly down the center, but man, it is close. I did put a little piece of leather on here for a lanyard just to help me pull it out of the pouch. And yeah, this definitely been one of my favorite slip joint knives of late. And you can see this thing was pretty shiny when it was new. It's definitely darkened up, taken on a patina, and I think if I ever polished it back up and I left the inside, the low spots on the handle here, darker, I think that'd be a pretty cool look. Now, this does have body screws. Does not have a pivot screw, but I think the pivot is captured, or the pivot post is captured between the scales. So I have not tried it, but I think you can take this apart. One of these days I'll say what the heck, and I'll try it. Really no gaps, everything's nice and smooth. Very nice. I like that one. So that's my third copper knife. Now the next one I bought over 4.5 years ago. I saw it, I thought it was pretty wild looking. It was on sale. It was a Smoky Mountain Knife Works exclusive, and I bought it. Now this is one, I've carried it, but I don't carry it hardly ever anymore, and that is the Artisan Cutlery Corsair. And check this thing out. That was a pretty weak flip. Check it out. Check that blade out. I can't remember exactly what they call it. Sometimes I've seen it listed as a cleaver-like blade, cleaverish blade, but there's a name for it. I can't think of it. But this blade is pretty wicked. Got the saber grind. That tip, that point is the sharpest point of any of my knives. I'm telling you, that is like a hypodermic needle. It is almost scary. I'm telling you, that is so pointy and sharp. Big old finger choil right here. And yeah, I think that's pretty wicked looking. Now the handle, again, copper, cool shape to it. It's actually pretty comfortable in hand, especially if I'm choking up in the finger choil. It fits my hand pretty good. It's taken on a good patina over time, and you can see underneath the pocket clip, it's pretty shiny still. A little bit around the pivot, all kinds of stuff. Deep carry pocket clip, an okay clip, button head screws, left hand or right hand. Lockup is solid, no play whatsoever. Easy access to it. Just a fun knife. And it's got this loop on the end, which I don't understand. It looks kind of cool, but really you can open this up like I don't know, some kind of carabiner. It just kind of clips in here. And I don't know, you could hook that onto something. I don't know. I've often thought about taking it off, because you can remove that, and then it look like that. I don't think that looks too bad either, but I've kept it on there. That's pretty solid too. I mean, that closes. I mean, I can shake it and pop it loose, so I wouldn't want to be hanging this on a bag or something and be running through the woods and lose it. But it's just kind of ridiculous looking, but it caught my eye when I first saw it, and I'm like, that's cool. But like I said, I really don't carry this that often. Once in a while, just because it is wicked looking, and like I said, that tip is like a hypodermic needle. That is scary sharp. But yeah, this is my other copper knife, which I think is pretty cool. So that's all I got. I only have 4 copper knives. I love the copper. I love how it looks when it gets patina to it. I like the feel of it. People say they can smell it. I can't smell it. I don't smell it on my hands handling all 4 of these. Right now, probably my favorite would be the Kershaw Culpepper, and next favorite is between the Elementum and the Natrix, and it might be actually this one because it was a gift. And just check that blade shape out. I do dig that. I like that. It's almost reverse, has the belly back here and then goes straight, where a regular blade, right, has a belly towards the tip, then back towards the pivot, it's straight. That's kind of the opposite. It's cool. Elementum, still, I know people are sick of the Elementums, but they are a great EDC knife. I still like them. And this bad boy, what do they call the blade? Chevron? No, not chevron. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. Now, there's a little bit of detent lash in this. If you can see. A little detent lash. And when you first push the flipper tab, it kind of moves. But great action. Yeah, but like I was saying, I don't carry this. I don't EDC it. I did when I first got it. But this one is a chunk. This one is a little heavy. And it's sharp. It cuts. I mean, it'll do the job. I just don't carry it very often. But yeah, I guess that'll do it. If anybody has copper knives, I don't care if you got 1 or 20. You feel like doing a response video, open tag on this, go ahead, tag me in it so I can watch, check your knives out. And I guess that'll do it for this video. Do the usual like, comment, subscribe if you haven't. And until next video, bye.